Hey, what's up? I wanted to show you a little bit of my rig right now and how I'm boosting now my amp. It's been a very long journey for me to find the perfect boost for the Orange. It's a Thunderverb 50. Great distortion on the amp. I love it very much. But I love it so much that every time I was using like a pedal in between my guitar and the amp, it felt like I was losing and something and compromising the tone a little bit. And so I just went into this chase of the perfect boost that just add gain stages without feeling too change the response too much. And I'm pretty happy of where I am right now. So as you might see, I'm using a lot of EFFECTRODE pedals. I just love them. It's a very pure tube circuit, very audiophile circuits, and it sounds very good. And it's very close to being plugged straight to the amp, feel wise. And so yeah, I'm gonna show you some tones so you can get an idea of what it's doing. First, of course, the amp by itself. I'm using my PRS, which is a very nice sounding guitar with stainless steel frets, very bright guitar. And the amp, I use the channel B. It's a channel that you can scoop the mids, and it's very it kind of reminds me of boogie amps, with the graphic EQ, when you can carve the 700 hertz. It does something kind of similar, I think, but with a very still orange sound and British sounding amp. So yeah, so let's go through some tones. So you can see it's kind of it's very articulated. It has a nice presence up top, and I like the amp in this position. It's not too gainy, so you can still not even touching the volume knob. You have like a very nice touch sensitive sound. And the harder you dig into the guitar, it just opens up and bloom in a very cool. It's so organic. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it. It's so inspiring. I love this sound so much. And yeah, and this is what you kind of lose when you have like 9-volt solid state pedal in between. And so yeah, let's go through the pedals. I can start with a fire bottle. It's very cool. It scooped the mid even more and kind of cut some bass, because there is like a trim pot inside that you can fine tune the bass, and I kind of roll them down a little bit. So we got it. Yeah, I like it. It's even more bitey. It will cut through even more. More compressed, because I have a little bit of boost in it. a little bit of neck pickup. Without the pedal. So yeah, and just so you know, this pedal, if you know, there is like a switch which change the impedance that the pedal sees, and basically create peak resonances in the mids. It can be useful for single coils to fat them up, but I personally don't really like it. To me, it sounds very honky. In some contexts, it might be what you want, but to me, the pedal is way more useful the way it is. It has nice EQ that, if you want like a, especially in clean tone, I like it because it really gives you a very expensive sounding guitar sound. Like the upper mids top end is so lush and shiny. It's really cool. It's based on a Thunder amp, and there is one tiny tube inside. Very cool stuff. Yeah, let's move on. I think I want to show you the broadcast. Maybe the broadcast is the only non-effectrode pedal I'm using at the moment, because it does something very cool. It's very vintage in essence because it's a germanium amp running into a small transformer. So it's very colored. It has a very mid-heavy tone. You can cut some low end and it naturally roll off some top end, but you get more top end when you push the distortion of the pedal, so you can get very nasty fuzz out of it. But the way I like it is a nice, kind of slightly compressed and harmonically rich mid boost. Let's hear that, okay? I think it's really cool. I can turn down the distortion of the pedal and have, but it's still very colored. It's a very cool tone. So it's all about gain stages at the end of the day. I feel like there is no pedal that you can find a nice tone with, as long as it gives you the right amount of volume and distortion in the right place of your chain. Um, but you will have the color of the design of the pedal. Like if you're using like a germanium amp, like in this pedal, it's running in 24 volts, by the way. You will have the color of germanium. It's very nice on the pick attack. It's very smooth. It's not too far from tube. It's like a transistor that kind of behave like a tube, um, in a still very rock and roll and lo-fi kind of way. But great pedal. I mean, it's the most vintage sound I would have out of my rig because of the character the pedal has. It's very cool. Now, I want to talk to you about. Here's how it goes. There is the Blackbird, which is a preamp based on the Thunder, I think, Deluxe Reverb. So I'm using only the clean channel right now into the front end of the Orange, and it just makes my guitar sound bigger and more intense and more modern, maybe. I think from what I've heard, it's like one stage of tube and then the cathode follower, which I don't really know what it means, but it's not like a four gain stage like the distortion channel of this pedal, okay? And it sounds very good. You have to hear this. Okay, without it. And to me, it reminds me, it's the sound that I really like. It's like the late 90s, early 2000, pop punk thing, like The Offspring. Uh, like, how does it go? It's original prankster. Those kind of very intense, big and bitey sound. I just love those, because what's cool about them is that you can have like not complex like jazz chords, but still rich voiced in your chords for nice songwriting, with cool chord progression. And also the mids are not too honky, so it doesn't get in the way of the vocals, but it sounds huge. So for what I do, it's just the perfect kind of tone. It works well without it. But it feels like the pedal, just push you closer to the finish line of the production when you're looking for this huge sound. And now I want to move on the tube vibe, because the tube vibe, it does a similar thing. Of course, it's a univibe pedal, so there is like a digital LFO that modulates the LED, I think, and the LED is perceived by a photo-optical sensor that will then modulate the filter capacitor, I guess, that would create the filtering of the circuits. And because you lose a lot of volume doing filtering, all the tubes are basically, if I understood correctly, for making up the volume loss. And so you have nice tube amplification all the way in the pedal. The signal pass is all analog, you know, it's just the LFO that's digital, so it sounds really good. I mean, this thing feels like nothing else, and it's not too far. If you take aside the modulation, it's not too far from the Blackbird, you know. Let me show you. Let's put more gain. It doesn't sound good. I think it sounds so good. And so this is the Univibe side of the pedal, but there is a vibrato mode that is very useful, very cool. Let me show you. So you have this pitch modulation going on, and it just works so well. I mean, I think that sounds really good. I think this tone is very inspiring. It's gives some nice movement to your production when you're for recordings. It's sometimes, you know, you just want your solo to have a little thing that make it more unique and memorable, you know. And this is the ticket, and it doesn't. And the response is very nice, and it's very silent. Like for the amount of gain I'm using, I think it's very not too noisy. I'm pretty sure of the same kind of pedal with solid states. Not only would not feel the same, not as big, and not as smooth and responsive, but also would probably be noisier. I mean, I have not compared directly, but yeah, that's my gut feeling. And yeah, I have to say, like, effectrode pedals are very quiet. Like, they just very quiet. No other way to say it. With one exception, it's this guy, the Mercury. It's a fuzz, and it's the older version. You know, the new version is a fuzz that it's some work has been done on the design and the diodes and the tube itself. So it's the new one is quieter. This one still sounds very good, and it has a unique tone to it, a unique really identity in the sound that I really like. and if you gain stage it properly, you can have reasonable noise. It's not too bad. And by the way, it's not worse than any like triple booster, uh, germanium fuzz or anything like this. Those pedals are really noisy, and this is probably around the same or even quieter. I don't know, but when gain stage properly, like I think I've done, it's very usable, and it does something. Uh, it does something in the harmonic content of your notes that is just so inspiring for me. I need to show you now, but like. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I love it. There is like a juicy feeling, on the, especially when you do like double stops, like I do a lot. And I really wanted that because when you play a rhythm like big open chords and all, you need something tight and all. But when you want some artifact like this, some movement on the upper notes in solo, I think fuzz are great for that because they just behave in a way that is not as predictable, and so it feels very expressive. And yeah, so yeah, the only thing that I struggle with, like with this guitar especially, is the neck pickup and on the E string, the low E string, you get this woofy that I cannot really find a way to manage, but on other string it works great. And with the tone knob, you can have, if your tone knob is wired in 50s wiring, which means the tone is wired after the volume knob, you can have some very nice cleanup like this. And this pedal, it's just so cool for that. And for the bridge, I really like it for the bridge, especially. It has this very juicy expression to it. I mean, a lot of harmonics popping. It's it's not very compressed. I mean, it's gaining, but it's a very reasonable amount of gain for the amount of expression you have while you're digging in the pedal, to some extent, maybe it will drive some people crazy that I say this, but it reminds me a little bit of a brown tone from Bandolen, from the first Bandolen, kind of saggy, and it kind of makes sense because I'm operating the pedal with the starve mode, so the tube is like, the voltage of the tube really drops very low, and so it's compressing and it's sagging in a way, and to me, I prefer this way because the low end seems to be way much more manageable for me in this mode. And I'm also turning down the top end of the pedal, so inside you have two trim pot for those two options, and so you have, because of this, you have this very smooth kind of tone. So I'm still struggling on the low E with neck pickup. It's sometimes the A string, but with the Strat there is no issue. Those pedals, especially the Mercury, work very well with Strats. Single coils are fine, just that it handled the low end a little bit better from those guitars. But still, it's probably becoming my favorite lead tone right now. I prefer lead tone on the bridge pickup most of the time. So yeah, that's very cool. So it's been, so you saw all the pedal. I still want to show you something. Is that it's the other channel of my Orange. It's also 3 gain stage of tube cascade. But the voicing is way much more mid heavy. So this would be my lead tone usually. I'll show you. I love this sound. It's what's hard. It's sometimes when you play one channel which is very scooped. When you go to the other one, it seems very honky and almost muffled in a way, because you go from a very scooped sound from a very mid heavy. But yeah, for recordings, what is important to notice is that I'm using a cab in the other room, 112 cab, open back. It's a SUPRO cab. I think it sounds fantastic, and I have like a ribbon mic that gets all the size of a pillowy mid range to it, very warm and all. And I got a BEYERDYNAMIC 180H, which is a dynamic mic, which is very scooped by nature, and it has the very nice sizzle up top, but very smooth, but so clear and bitey at the same time. It's a fantastic mic, one of my favorite for guitar cabs at the moment. And the ribbon mic, I'm carving, I'm EQing out some 700 hertz to it, so it doesn't get too woofy, and I'm boosting like 1.5K, yeah, and not too much, yeah, and then you can balance your two microphone until you find the perfect balance of mid range and bite up top. And so this is very important because yeah, probably for recording a song, if I switch to a more mid-heavy channel like this, you could change the balance between the two microphone, and you will have a very different sound. But yeah, just want to show you the boost I would use with channel A. That would be the case where the Mercury doesn't work too well. The huge amount of mid-range in the channel A, I think doesn't handle the harmonic content of the fuzz. Just to show you. Actually, I kind of like it, but it probably doesn't work as well with the neck. Yeah, on the lower string you lose the clarity, but on bridge, it works, I think, and especially if you use like the tone knob, like I said earlier, you know. Probably not my favorite sound, but it's very useful. Yesterday I was playing along some old school soul music like Aretha Franklin and those kind of thing, and I with the tone knob and volume knob I could find some very coherent sound that would fit those old school songs very well, you know. So it's sometimes it's all about the context of what you're playing to, you know. But yeah, what I would use mostly with channel A is the fire bottle, because it just kind of get rid of some of those mids and opens up the top in a more i5 and expansive sounding, you know. Oh yeah, but oh yeah. I probably have more boost right now on the Farewell, but it sounds so good. Like I just dig it so much. Neck pickup now. Listen to the very upper mids. It's very clear. Middle position. And you know that's what's great with a channel A, like it, which is very mid-heavy, is that the middle position of his guitar is very scooped and bright, and with many amps I don't feel I would find it too useful for lead tone, but with an orange amp, you know, the mid-range is there, so you can work with it. It's great. Yeah, let's move on. I like the tube vibe, sounds amazing. You know, in tube vibe mode. I mean, isn't it a cool tone? Damn, I really like it. Neck pickup, you know. Very cool sounds. Yeah. So now let's go to the Blackbird. So the Blackbird make things even bigger. So with channel A, I don't know if it's as useful as with channel B, but let's hear it. It's cool, but yeah, probably more useful with channel B. Still cool though. The broadcast now is very cool. The mid focus sound of the broadcast works very well with this sample. Let me show you. It sounds really good. Let me bring some distortion from the pedal. This really add even more character. Yeah. So now my gain stage start to get more compressed because I've raised the volume earlier, but there you probably will still have something more dynamic. I mean, it's very nice. For it's more vintage in the sound, and it's not really that 90s 2000 sound, which is what I call modern sounding. Uh, but sometimes it just fit the mix again so well. So here we go. I think we we're done with going through all the pedal, it's a journey, chasing tone and all. It's great, but at some point you better start doing some music and do with what you got. And so I think it's time for me now to focus more on making the music than chasing tones, but it's still very fun. And so be happy with what you got, but sometimes what's worth mentioning that it's you can really have some pieces of gear and be committed to find how to extract the most out of them, because sometimes it's really the way you use it that matter the most. Like the Mercury, for example, I really struggled with this pedal to gain stage it properly with my amps, to find a way that wasn't too noisy or wasn't too woofy on the low end. And now I get some sound sometime in the Orange or even the Vox sometimes, but really lately with the Orange, I just it, they have like a character in the expression when you dig the guitar. It's very inspiring. I love it. And so I'm really glad I didn't sold the pedal, which I have considered sometimes. But no, I'm really keeping this thing. Okay, that's all for me. Next time, probably gonna talk about a little bit of the electronic of my guitar because it's a very custom thing. Maybe you've seen there's like a rotary switch there. Might be interesting. So, if you want to subscribe or like, that would be cool. See you in the next one. Bye bye.